we did it. Every single stretch goal. I would say that I'm shocked or that I can't believe it, but I'm starting to learn to stop underestimating you guys. We just broke 6,000 backers, and I am so grateful to each and every one of you for everything you've done to make this happen. Today's the final day of the Diesel Knights Kickstarter. Pledges will close tonight at midnight. And I want to take a moment to talk about how far we've come. When I first started drafting this Kickstarter, I sat down with my wife, and we figured out the bare minimum that I would need to bring in order for us to make it through 2026. That, in addition to server costs and other expenses, Kickstarter fees, and taxes, is what informed our base funding goal of $45,000. Now, this would have been tight, but we were committed to making it work. On the morning of October 28th, I clicked launch on the Kickstarter campaign. That funding goal was reached in 42 minutes. In the time since, you guys have funded every single stretch goal. Let's talk about the impact that will have on the game. The first thing we'll work on is the base game, version 1.0, scheduled to launch sometime in Q4 of 2026. But once 1.0 is launched, we'll get to work releasing stretch goal content as free post-launch updates. Yesterday, I released a huge FAQ on Kickstarter. I'll link to that in the pinned comment. It should answer many of the questions you may have if you're still considering backing us on this last day of the campaign. Let's take a look at every single stretch goal we've unlocked. The first thing we'll focus on after completing the base game is building out a system of computer-controlled NPC actors. This will take the form of infantry soldiers to populate the battlefield and really make matches feel like real living battles. And the Gunwalker autopilot system, which will allow your Gunwalker mech to continue fighting even when you're not physically at the controls. Once we have the ability to leverage computer-controlled NPCs, we can start building PvE encounters and filling them with enemy combatants. This is the foundation for our co-op PvE mode, which, by the way, will be playable offline, split screen, or even solo if you want. After that, we'll be adding at least 4 more new weapons. Then, we'll introduce the enemy faction to the game. We'll say goodbye to the classic blue team versus red team format, and you'll get to play as one of 2 distinct in-universe factions during matches. This will lend a much more compelling sense of context and lore to both regular PvP multiplayer and our PvE mode. I can't wait to share more about this faction at a later time. After that, we'll have funds allocated to begin the process of porting Diesel Knights to major consoles. This will be a long process, but I'll keep you updated along the way. Then we'll be able to introduce options to customize your knight in-game. Now, there are currently 2 stretch goals for pilot customization. Both have been unlocked. Base level customization allows you to choose from a handful of different helmets, a primary color, as well as a male or female appearance. But we have also unlocked additional options, which allow you to choose your face mask, uniform, and secondary color, in addition to funding more options in general to choose from. Then there's mech customization. Thanks to mech customization, you can similarly customize your mech with colors, a headpiece, weapons, and insignia. But if one mech wasn't enough, we've also unlocked Chassis 2, an entirely new mech from the ground up with different stats and animations. We'll work with the community to determine specifics, more on that later. From there, we funded an additional map, plus more weapons, and the additional pilot customization options, which we just discussed a few moments ago. Lastly, and this is something we just unlocked yesterday, the short story single-player mission. This will be a narrative-driven, cinematic single-player experience. A single, action-packed mission, designed to give players a satisfying taste of the world and lore that we're building here. Please bear in mind, when I say short, I do mean short. I can't give any kind of accurate time estimates, largely because speedrunners exist, but please don't expect this to be a full AAA feature-length campaign. Once those stretch goals are complete, we'll play it by ear. There's plenty to do in the meantime, so we'll have more than enough to keep us busy for the next couple of years at least. Thanks again for everyone who chipped in to make this happen. Special thanks to Ms. Diesel Knights and the mod team over on Discord. Come say hi, by the way. I'm going to take a short break to rest and recover, but I'll be back soon with more news and updates. Until then, this has been Xavier B. Johnson, wishing you a very happy Thanksgiving on behalf of the whole Diesel Knights team. I know I certainly have a lot to be thankful for. I'll see you next time.